Hey, we love that umbrella guy. All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. This isn't a song, it's a call out. A platinum flowing nuclear option fallout. You ruin lives because no one knows you. Well, that your umbrella guy, he will expose you. It's not just the stalking in the lies where you fail. All the scanning that you aimed at the hells, the family members and what you to take. The broken people left in your wake. It's that umbrella guy, an epic mic check. Inviting millions to watch as I wreck. Someone that'll target a child with PTSD. But when a man steps up, you can't stop me. And I got questions here from the masses. This is college, and you're attending classes. Yeah, reality 101 is calling, and what you did is beyond appalling. And you retaliate with DHS with your sheeple. Dozens of aliases. What are you hiding? Cut the chase, that's not law-abiding. Even the therapist wanted courts to keep you away from a child you consider nothing more than a payday. It's that umbrella guy with a mic check, pointing out all the lives that you've wrecked. You excuse it to any commentator, but you're the common denominator. It's that umbrella guy live from the hat rack, dropping rhymes that might have an impact on rebuilding everything you had taken from all that trust that you forsaken. Can kids on me? In the mirror, and perhaps you'll see it clearer. You're not a fly in the ointment, no, you're a cosmic disappointment. That umbrella guy, bringing the heat with epics, rhymes, and platinum beats. Standing for those you try to end and lie about it. You pretend that somehow you were a parent because it's just so apparent. You're damaged and mistreated with every lie you have repeated. You really think you can do harm? Or perhaps beguile and somehow charm an army of one with ways that you style. But no, I'm not a child. Call a call, call all hours continue.
Hey there, what's up, folks? How's it going today? Man, I like that beat. Doom, 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 boom, 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 doom, doom. I had some pretty fire lines in there that I wanted to add, and the AI was like, no, we're not gonna repeat that. Oh, what's up? How's everybody doing today? Welcome to a brand new edition of Looking at Some Crazy. Over the last 2 days, Jerry Hill has actually uploaded some really fascinating stuff talking about Ohio. I mean, if you go through what happened with that, we're going to look at some of that. I just thought it'd be interesting to walk it through. You know, typically I've looked through a few odds and end videos, but this I found really interesting. I also love the presentation that we got with it. So I figure we'll roll through that, and we'll talk a little bit about butthurt that we didn't get to hit yesterday. By the way, what's up, Teddy? Thank you. Well, thank you for the membership. Welcome to Doug Stuggs. And Fallen Hero, what's up, my friend? Thank you for the gifted membership. Let me pull up this. Like, everybody's gathering before we start into the video, actually. I started to make fun of this yesterday. I mean, I talk about this yesterday. I thought this would be the perfect shirt, to be honest. You know what I mean? Sometimes you see a shirt, and I thought, I thought getting that groupie cash was actually a greatest freaking plug for any channel ever, you know? I mean, oh man, the Jokealist is not enjoying us. I'm going to say Not the best fan of everybody. I love this. I didn't really get to cover it all last night. Again, last night's live stream was good. It went in ways I wasn't expecting, but that's okay. I like that. But check this out. I thought this was really funny. And then we're going to look at that video. Groupie Fox. Groupie Fox. I'll hit her up. I'll be like, what's up, Groupie Fox? How you doing? Groupie Fox and Tug Thug. Man, so creative there. Tug Thug. Actually, that's what I call memberships anyway, you know? So, woo, what an own there, right? Tug Thug. Good times. I have to say, anybody that, the person that first called the account Tug, they meant it in the way they were like, ah ha ha, explicit joke. And I was like, who cares? That's funny, In fact, they used to call people who, if you came on the channel, like to talk about like a comic book or something that you put together, they used to call it getting the tug plug. I was like, oh Lord, that sounds terrible. But it was funny, So Thugs, man, what an own, man. What an own. Oh, I'm shivering in my boots here. I don't even have boots on. So I shivered them right off. Hey, what's up, Captain, by the way? Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for the membership. Welcome to Thugs too. Appreciate you. But they had another party. We had another party on the Groupie Cash. I like that Groupie Cash. You know what this is, by the way? When you see somebody repeatedly complain about money, you know why people wallet check you? I mean, just to be honest. See, I've learned in the past, like I don't talk about money or anything else. And a lot of other creators, they don't do that as well. Like how like earnings is what I mean. You don't talk about, because that's tactless. But there are people out there that count your money and they watch your wallet. And the reason they do that is because they feel entitled to it and they can't do it. I mean, it's just the thing. Like they go out, they've tried and they've failed, and it makes them resentful instead of looking at it in a positive manner. Like if you fail at something, try again, right? Try a different way. Maybe coming down on the wrong side of things. Maybe that's a problem. Maybe when you're out there with the sovereign citizenry, yeah, maybe that's a problem. Maybe joining in with a woman that, like I said, like the song lyrics said, someone that would target a child with PTSD. But when a man steps up, man, you can't wreck me. I mean, that's the problem. You're gonna stick your fucking low rent journalists on me. I mean, are you kidding me? No. What am I gonna get? You know what? Too. Every time you post something, I'm gonna monetize you. Every time. I tell people this. I tell them all the time, like folks like this. I will monetize you, and it will make you madder, and you'll cry harder. And I'll laugh more and I'll monetize you again. It's like it's this perpetual cycle of fun times. It's always fun times. But Groupie Cash, baby. The Groupie Cash train. Get on side that Groupie Cash train. That's a song too. Man, I've been flowing with some songs. I had another beat for that song I used at the beginning, by the way. There was one that came together, but I don't know. I like that. I like the banging freaking bass. Right now I'm stuck in bass. I'll go through cycles. And right now I'm trying to figure out how far I can take bass with AI. And I found out I can take it pretty far. If you're curious, you should replay like one of those songs on like a decent radio with some speakers. I was playing around with it to see how it sounded in my my vehicle, to see how the bass would come through. And yeah, it's good times. But Groupie Cash train last night and blah blah strongman. Blah blah strongman. An actress mayor. Blah blah strongman. Is that what Jeremy is now? Blah blah strongman. What does that even mean? Like, because he's got some muscles? I mean, is she mad about that? That he Is she mad about the 2-inch pipe? Is that what the thing is? That what's bothering her? I mean, I'm curious. Is that what all this boils down to, really? When we get down to it, is it pipe envy? Do you think so? I'm curious. Let me know in the chat. Vote 1 for yes, 2 for no. Maybe she's here. Maybe she could tell us what you're actually. She's like 1, 1, 1. Yes, yeah. I mean, no, 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 no. But acting like thugs. You know, that's not a very nice word anymore. Calling people thugs. In fact, I heard on Twitter, I heard on the Twitters that that's a racist word. No, I'm just kidding. I don't believe that at all. That's funny though. You just acted like a bunch of thugs. Really? Laughing at stupid people makes you thugs? Well, welcome there, man. I guess I'm joining the Crips because I'm fixing to throw down. I'm taking up the gangsta life if that's the case. I mean, really, you're a thug for laughing at stupid. Oh, laughing at stupid is an occupational choice. I'm going to say that. If, like I said, if you find a problem in that, then you're probably stupid. That's just I'm going to guess there. What's up, Patty? By the way, thanks for 5. Here's your group of cash. Look at that. Look at that group of cash. Don't you hate it, Char? Does that make you mad? Does it get you twisted up? What's up, Legal Vices? How you doing, man? That's how the Lorax was born. Somebody thought they were insulting me. And I thought it was hilarious. Yeah, I've crowdfunded on people. This is what this would be the perfect thing if Jeremy had a 24-hour live stream. I'm telling you, he wants to meet that GoFundMe, do a 24-hour live stream, and just relentlessly mock some of these folks. Cut out their names and stuff, but relentlessly mock them. Mock things like the groupie cash train. that GoFundMe the cup would overfloweth. I'm gonna tell you. Because people love to laugh at stupid people. And there are plenty of them that are out there that have congregated against the house. I mean, it's amazing. And they're crazy too. I mean, they are absolutely crazy. What's up, Kat? 620. Finally joined a few days ago. You've been remarkable with Jeremy and George. Thank you for being you. I appreciate that. I mean, if this is a fascinating thing. This case is, and for me, again, I think my track record says if I start covering something, I'm relentless in covering it because it fascinates me. I'm obsessive compulsive. I need to know more. Yeah, Subi Sue, I'm catching these, so I don't have. I'm trying to figure out how to catch people in the moment, but I haven't figured that out yet. Subi Sue, thanks for the Groupie Fox and Tug Bug. Yeah, there we go. Oh, Legal Vices. Yeah, I knew what the Lorax was, but thank you for super chatting again. I love typos that do that. What's up, Toadette? Thanks for the 22. Here, have some foreign monies. Foreign monies. I love them. Missed y'all. Thank you. Thank you. Also, Charles, thanks for 5. Oh, God. Walked into a tuggy cult. Call Sergeant Carter. Indeed. How dare you? You walked in, you're gang affiliated now. All of you, you are indeed. If you get on the if you get on the groupie cash train, you are gang affiliated. That's amazing. Jesse, thanks for 5. I didn't choose the thug life. The thug life chose me. That's why I say I didn't choose the tug life. The tug life chose me. John, thanks for 2. Jeremy's long driveway group cash. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's a combination. Since 2-inch pipe is code for girth and long driveway is maybe it's all put together as some kind of resentment. What's up, Mistrust? Thanks for the 2. Toot toot. Yeah, exactly. And 2 more, and then I'll just keep going. D, thanks for 5. Towards your group of cash jar. Love you, Tug. Thank you. And also, Abe, thanks for the choot choot. Let me continue reading this. Oh, people ask, by the way, some people like, you schedule it at 6, Tug, and you never start at 6. That's because with the kids, they have activities and stuff. So I quite literally walk through the door, upload some stuff, and bam, we start. So, um, yeah, it's pretty crazy. I make sure the kids get some food, and then after this, I usually eat. So it's a crazy schedule, but it's fun. It's fun. I mean, laughing at stuff, acting like thugs for the show as they slander some more. It's all about the show, baby. Like I said, every time I've been so motivated. These people are like clip central. I mean, seriously. The Jokealist here has been just epic clips. I mean, while I was on a live stream with Megan Fox, I was able to put one together just because she's like a clip machine. She is. I mean, I've got a rock eater for attorney. I've never heard anything like that. That's amazing. What does that even mean? I mean, is she referencing the never ending story? Is that what that's about? I mean, I don't get it. She's mad because she was talking about the train of injustice or whatever. And I mean, she's mad at me because I mocked her while she was in the chat. I was reading the chat and it cracked me up because she didn't just get butt hurt about us talking about her. She got butt hurt enough that she joined Megan's channel. I mean, think about this. Like, have you ever been this mad and then pretending, of course, I'm not mad, I'm not raging. You join a channel so you can sit in the chat while everybody laughs at what's going on. And then you go over to Facebook and you speak to the weeds because nobody gives a crap unless people are making fun of you. Oh, it's so good. I love it. I do. I love this advocate journalist. I hate like this. She is obsessed with Jeremy Hill, though. I mean, obsessed with him. See, there's a difference in talking about people and going in real life and joining in the fray. Like that's craziness. You're not doing commentary anymore. You're actually you're going beyond becoming part of the circus too. You're actually trying to do real damage. And I think that makes you somebody that people want to know about a little bit, They want to think, what the fuck is I would actually the funny thing is, Jokealist, I would invite you on and laugh at you here. I would. But when I sent you a link, it would take you 40 fucking minutes to ever get to the point where you're like, it's a poison link, Tug. It's gonna ambush my computer with the Googles. I mean, how sad is that? Oh my God. The links won't work. I gotta call in. You call into my middle finger. You use the link I send you, or you don't come on at all. That's the way it goes. I mean, what that is probably one of the best clips I've ever seen, by the way. When I pulled up that Facebook, oh my God. I thought I was gonna die that night. I would get laughing. And then while we were talking about other stuff, I get laughing about what we just talked about a few minutes ago because it would just hit me as funny again. But they were all tooting their own horns while counting the cash. How many times does she come up? Like this whole statement is about counting those dollar bills, y'all. That's why I make jokes about platinum grills and see that's a joke. Like, if you're new to the channel, that's a joke. I always said that I'd monetize people, and one day I'm gonna buy a platinum grill with all the money. I'm gonna bling the mouth out. Oh my God, though. All tooting. Why is that in quotes? Why do you just put tooting, but the rest of it you don't? Like tooting your own horn. You could have put all of that in quotations, but you didn't. You just put the word tooting there. I mean, what? Oh my God. You could probably do a documentary. If dumb or documentary material, holy crap, we'd have an entire season of fun times. Uh, now that I know Fox has a thing for Minko and supports Stall King Attorney. I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about at the end here. All I hear is wow, wow, wow. You know the Charlie Brown teachers and adults. That's all I hear sometimes when I look at that. It's like funny, 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 wah, 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 wah. Oh my God. I mean, this is like it's like opening up a it's like opening up a box of stupid and seeing what kind of flavor you're like, chocolate covered stupid. You're stupid with nougat. Life is like a box of chocolates indeed. It was almost right. Let me mention this, by the way. I thought this was really funny. I don't want to go through this whole thing because not tonight. This isn't the point. But I was going to go through this the other night, but give me 1 second. I was talking about that article. Like I said, I'm not going through the whole thing. I just want to mention a couple of things of it because they made me laugh. I got laughing off this. And again, we'll look at that video in just a second too. But I just want to point this out, okay? With her article, look at this, okay? Like I said, I will do a read through of this. I will, but not now. Not now, because that's a whole live stream. Like I can't do anything else in the live stream. Why? Because this person, the Jokealist, does not know how to write a freaking article. And this is a blog. To be fair, this ain't an article; it's a blog. We love it. But when you look at it, like what's amazing is that it goes after Madam Mayor. And, people were asking me, I do, not tonight, but another night, I really do want to talk to Madam Mayor. I want to sit down because I had time to think about stuff. And a lot of people have told me you need to ask her about all the things that she went through personally during those months that were there and afterwards, like everything that was named her way. So you should hit me up, Madam Mayor, if you do hear this, and we'll set up a day. That way it'll be a clear topic there because I'd love to do that. And I'd love to help grow your channel a bit, like maybe point more people. Because in the aftermath, the algorithm has been favoring some of these discussions and, it serves a point. Everyone can grow together. And I think that's good, But when you look through this, what you find look at this crap. It goes on forever. But then you get to this certain point about Lynette. It was like April 2023, resident Lynette was an election candidate for town council and has plans to run for office in 2024. I mean, can you imagine the dysfunction? Like that, when I read that, I was like, please, God, let her campaign at least. I mean, I hate to give her any power where she could do damage. It'd be funny if you could take her in an elected office and like box it off. That would be the funniest thing ever. But it wouldn't if she had power. So you say, I would like to I'd love to see some campaign slogans, It'd be like, Lynette 2024, because Jeremy Hale's not a nice person. John, get away from the window. It says it all on the sign. Could you imagine, by the way, any of the commercials you could get out of a political campaign with her? Oh my God, it would be so good. I'd probably die, though. I'd probably die of a laugh attack. I mean, I'd probably sit on here and you'd be like, R.I.P. that umbrella guy, 2024. Laughed too much, had too many fun times. Oh my God. But you notice the picture here. They're like, look, here's Jeremy Hales. He's filming. He films Lynette. Oh my God. Look at him. He's got the cameras. You think about that. This is some Inception level crazy because she's like, look at me filming this guy that I'm obsessed with, claiming that this guy is obsessed with this other person that is actually obsessed with him, so he has to film them. I mean, that is some Inception level, like levels within levels of crazy. I mean, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. And look, I love that. Look at the expression there. It's like, what are you doing, nuts? I mean, look at that. It's just like, what in God's name? I gotta zoom in on this. Give me a second. I'm gonna save this picture so I can zoom in because I want to see the expression. This they look less than thrilled to have the Jokealist. They're like, what the what? Give me 1 minute. I gotta save that real fast. You can't pull it since it's a web file. You can't just like click in and easily do it. You have to save it. That's why I'm doing it real quick. I've got it though. Here we go. Check this out. I mean, this expression is priceless, and it kind of feels. I feel like when I watch this stuff, I feel like my expression is sometimes the same. You're like, look at that. Look, I mean, right at her. Like what the hell? And even though she notices people looking at her like she's an extreme whack job. She still decided to post this because she's obsessed with Jeremy Hale. Look at the picture, by the way. That doesn't look like. Let's see. That does not look like Lynette. you know? Let's see, camera's pointed that direction. It looks like he's filming something now. It actually looks like he's it looks like he's buying flashlights. That's what it really looks like. He was Amazoning. And she's like, "Gotcha, Jeremy." And he's like, "I'm trying to buy a flashlight. I have 71 acres. What's going on?" Like I said, I like that. She like her. Have you ever had contempt for someone and you're like, "Oh my god, I gotta love it." Oh, it's so good. No, I'm not saying the blonde is a Jokealist. I'm saying that she is disgusted by the Jokealist filming. That's what I'm saying. Somebody said that she's not. No, she's not the Jokealist. She's looking at her filming. I mean, look at her. She's like, "What the? What are you doing, you whack job?" She's looking at her like she can't contain her. You know, have you ever felt like you've got so much for somebody that you involuntarily like the thought in your mind comes through in your expression? That expression is worth a million words there. Like I said, this picture is amazing in so many different ways when you think about it. And then on top of that, she posted this because she thought that this was some type of own. I mean, that to me, that's awesome. That's awesome because you talk about, I would say it's not being able to see the forest for the trees, but there's only 2 trees that she seems really, really obsessed with. Well, no, I take that back. Anybody that's been in I've seen this happen before, by the way. I've seen people that they become obsessed with destroying anyone around. I mean, look at how this is described. I wanted to hit this part because I noticed the Jeremy Hale part, and this is where I wanted to get last night, but so I skipped to it. Check this out, though. This is her blog. Dear diary, I'm writing to you because Lynette, she's my BFF that turned on me a few times, but Jeremy Hale. It's like, what does this even mean? It's bad when Lynette's come out and trashed her before, and yet she's somehow still falling in line. Way to go, soldier. You know your place on the turtle farm. That's awesome. I mean, really. Oh, Lord. Give me a second. I'm smoking my little cigar. It burns out while I'm talking. Miss Preston has become a primary star. Would you call her a star, by the way, on Jeremy's YouTube channel? I mean, she's a star in the making, of course, but for all the wrong reasons. She's more like a living internet meme. If I I'm telling you, if you introduce some of her, you're not a nice person, and some of that stuff into just regular internet banner, you would make a meme. You would. But she's a star on his YouTube. I wonder why, too. Why is YouTube? YouTube. Why? Show as his focus became the political climate in Otter Creek. In a previous interview, she stated his negative public campaign against me. I'm not going to do that voice the whole time. Began the day he learned I would run for office. Oh, wait a minute. So she's trying to say in this quote here, this is fascinating, by the way, because in courtrooms and stuff, she gives a specific rundown on how events turn. And this is a different rundown because she's saying, oh, well, again, became a star. Why? Well, because he learned I would run for office. Oh, my God. It's bad. You could probably run unopposed and still not win. Yeah. People are like, I'd rather have a rock in office. She's not. Well, this is just the article here. If you're like, well, she's not right. It doesn't matter. We're looking at the article here. I wish she would do a campaign. I wouldn't want her in office because, like I said, she might impact something. But we got along fine before this. Jeremy and so according to Lynette, or according to the Jokealist here, the narrative that you see in a quote unquote previous interview was that everything was hunky dory. They were BFFs. They had matching tattoos. Those little necklaces that are half a heart. You're like, we had our BFF necklaces. We used to come together and slam them together. We used to hang out, get ice cream. Then I ran for office. And he's a monster. He's not a nice person. Oh, my God. I would pay to see, them, slap a BFF necklace together. I mean, the craziest thing ever. I'd love to see her, try to reenact that for us. He is lying and it's causing harm to my entire life and family. And he has a court case. Keep me out of my own town hall. That's some weird spin. That is some weird spin. In fact, like I said, it leaves out everything that happened along the way. It's because she decided to run for office. Now, in a public statement from Jeremy Hales, there are beautiful and incredible people here in Otter Creek. Ran at the races, at the campground, neighbors at woodworking. Incredible people. We got Michelle and John across the street. Absolutely incredible people. There's so many good people. We have Captain Dan taking the ship out, fishing charters. Just a handful of beautiful, incredible people. And then later, he's like, we're not going to stop. Look at how she's like, in March, he said this. You make public statements to get along with people. Just to make this clear. Sometimes you make public statements because you don't really know your neighbors. But my neighbors on default, I want to get along with all my neighbors. You know, I don't want to disrupt a place that I'm at. That's the positive way to go about it. That's how you should treat community. And that's what you're doing. That's a perfect example of how you should handle community, you know? Not not stack your dying turtles freaking 4 deep, you know, and play them on a Dead Dog Road or whatever. I mean, it's a small place. You can win a lot of favor that way. And then she's like, well, by November, he's like, we're not going to stop until those two are behind bars. If John and Lynette show up at the next town hall meeting, we have verification 100% stated from Levy County Sheriff. They will be arrested. I mean, look at what's left out in the middle. Again, the spin to this is incredible. And I thought this is what got missed when we were looking at this with Megan's channel. We got lost up here because look how much she got to go through. I'm not going to roll all the way up it, but you saw all that stuff. You gotta get to this point, and this point is amazing because the Jokealist here goes after people like Megan Fox and says that they're ignoring the facts, the cases, and what the hell, man? I mean, are you kidding me? Again, writing to your blog of one, you know, telling your secrets to your blog. I mean, if you're going to pretend you're not journaling, but you're a journalist, I guess you are journaling. But if you're going to pretend you're a journalist, maybe you should put in the reality. Then, here's the ninth. What's going to happen if Lynette actually shows up to town hall? She's posted. She's going to be there. She's posted. She's going to continue to run for council. There's some issues with Florida in regards to civil protection orders. And we were contacted by Levy County this morning. They're working with us, regardless whether she shows or not. Ohio will enforce. If she shows up, they will issue a warrant for her. Again, we left out the entire part about how we got to a protective order. I mean, it's madness when you think about it. Oh my God. Look, he's got his camera out. Is he somehow filming Lynette? Look, oh my God, look at the images reflecting off the wall. He's somehow got her in there yet again. What a monster. What's he doing? I'm surprised we didn't get that as part of the caption. Oh my God. Then on the 18th, it's like Vanessa asked, did Lynette and John try to turn up at town hall? Something that George and I did is we had somebody outside in another vehicle watching everything. And yes, they were armed. Like, drink that in. Is she just going to brush over that? I mean, she just brushed over the fact that they didn't just violate an order of protection according to this, but they violated it and were armed. That's it. Unless he's saying the people outside were armed. I mean, again, I don't like there's a way that you present things. Like Mr. Hale said, if this doesn't even meet basic journalism, it's confusing. A direct quote shouldn't confuse me. Oh my God. I'm going to read. Maybe somebody can you translate that? John did have to pull a gun. See, okay, there you go. Like, we just skip over that. And then she's like, I contacted Otter Creek Town Hall multiple times by phone and email for a statement. I mean, we were talking about the point to this article, or the point to writing this, and it has no, it's all over the place. I mean, I have shiny squirrel syndrome. That's why, I separate a video from a live stream, because live streams are going to go all over the place, because my brain does a mad dash for whatever it feels like talking and laughing at. It's like, ooh, look at that. That's pretty funny. But I'm not pretending that's there. I'm also not pretending that I am a journalist. I'm not a God. what's the meaning of a jokealist? You know, a journalist that's a joke. It's kind of like what is the? I like that label. I think that's funny. That's why I'm using it too. You know, I think that's not mine. I did not come up with that. Obviously, that was a Jeremy one that was funny. And I thought, man, you know, that signifies. Because why would this person be a joke of a quote unquote journalist? Because they're not they don't write for anything. They don't actually, their big claim to fame, according to AI, which is feeding off of her own statements, her big claim to fame is her saying that she won Billboard World Song Contest. She had 5 honorable mentions. But like I was saying yesterday, to get an honorable mention, you have the winners, and then 1,500 more people get honorable mentions. It's a participate. And again, I'm not dissing anybody that does your own job. Man, if you make things and you have fun with that, that's awesome. But it reminds me of, like I was saying yesterday, there's poetry contest, quote unquote contests that, and they're scammy in a lot of ways, because what they do is they require an entry fee and they try to sell books. So they'll say, oh man, you know, if you put this in, you might be selected. Well, everybody gets selected because they want to sell you the book there. So I don't know how this works out, like with if there's fees or anything else, but it just, that's a lot of people to get an honorable mention. But she's like, I got a bunch of them at one time. I'm the only person to ever get that. How do I know that? Well, because I said so. It's like, that's not how that works. But anyway, I thought that we will continue the laugh track at this person as we press forward through the veil of stupid, you know. But I want to cover today the point in something. I want to talk about, now I want to make this very clear too when I start to cover and talk about this. This is a Hell's video. Watch their videos. I figure you do anyway. But if I show something, like one of the mistakes I think that channels make sometimes is they're not like, hey, you need to go watch this thing. You need to go. And in fact, if you like a channel, let this thing play all the way through. Because a 44-minute video, man, if you let this thing play all the way through, the algorithm will love the channel. It'll recommend it to people outside of that. The same thing you can do with live streams and other stuff. The more that you allow to play with, the algorithm loves time spent. That's what they look at, the percentage of a video that's actually watched. They treat live streams like that too. If people tune into a live stream, if you want to make live streams get out to everybody, and this is for anybody's live stream. If you leave your home, most of us have unlimited internet. When you leave your home, pull up something that you don't mind playing in the background, turn off the sound and just let it play, or let a playlist play on, say, you know, the Hell's channel or whatever. It'll play ads, which will make their channel money. And it'll also, the algorithm will love it. So I want to put that in there before I start playing with this. Having said that, check this out. This is funny. Like I really love the approach here. I thought this was hilarious. I'm turning closed captions on, by the way.
Got back from the Ohio courts where I got all the audio of the hearings with Lynette. Yeah, you're going to hear the judge going off on her multiple times.
If that was a question, you lost me at about sentence 7.
we get toy reenactment. Like, I have to say, there was just something about this. You're getting toy. I was like, man, I've got to play this stuff. We have to not only listen to what's going on here, but we have to get a good laugh out of that. Yes.
Since it's just audio, we're going to have to reenact. And this will be my lawyer, Pac-Man. Season up all the ghosts. This is me, Popeye. eating my spinach and saying as little as possible.
You know, what's funny too is she called him the strong man, you know, the Jokealist did. So I guess Popeye actually fits.
Wonder Woman there? Yeah, that's the judge sitting on the throne, the bench. Something old Lynette here knows nothing about because all she has is a bucket.
All right, is Lynette Preston on the call? Lynette Preston, it looks like you are speaking, but I cannot hear your audio. Turn your video on so I can see you, please.
Yes, that's an important thing to note too. Like if you're on a Zoom call, you don't just audio. You're supposed to actually show. That way they're aware of anybody that's around. If there are questions that are being asked, you're not actually being coached. Et cetera, et cetera. So that's the reason that a judge would ask for that. But it's funny, for me. If I have something really important, I would do a mic check beforehand, right? I would make sure that my device is working. But I mean, Lynette's gone through this stuff how many times now? Still can't get it right, and that's the same problem the Jokealist has. Man, it's like a contagion over there. Yeah,
there's an E. Bailey.
Somebody noted he did part 2 today. We'll hit part 2 as well because I thought these were funny. We'll go through that as well, but watch it on his channel first, please. Again, you can watch it purely. If you. So, I always see comments like, "Oh, just let it play." Well, that's not what we're doing. If I want to just play it, I just direct you to it. I want to have fun laughing at it. So anyway, let's continue.
On the call, please turn your video and your audio on so I can communicate with you. If you do not, I will remove you from this conference.
What you don't know yet, Lynette gave the Zoom link out to her supporters or fans so they could be in on the Zoom meeting as well.
That's nuts.
E. Bailey. Wonder who that could be.
All right, Ms. Preston, can you hear me?
Now I can.
Okay. E. Bailey. E. Bailey, identify yourself, please, or you'll be removed from this conference.
She was one of my witnesses, I think.
Okay, if she does not identify herself, then I'm going to remove her from the conference. So if you have a way to contact her, you might want to contact her and tell her that.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Moral support, that's all.
So she went from a witness to quote unquote moral support. Like that's you. Why would you start out by lying? Like the judge, when a judge hears it, they're like, what the hell? And every time I say that, I'm like, what the hell? But yeah, what the hell indeed? Like the judge has got to be thinking, what a show.
It's all right, Bailey, you can go.
Okay, I'm going to remove her. Thank you. Do you have somebody else there in the room with you, Ms. Preston?
John Cook.
Okay. If Mr. Cook is there, then I need him to identify himself and I need him to be on video and or to leave the room.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. We are here on 2 cases, 2023-09-3595, Jeremy Hales versus Lynette Preston. Jeremy Hales is present in the courtroom, correct?
Correct.
You are represented by counsel. Counsel, you may identify yourself.
Attorney Eli Heller on behalf of Mr. Hales.
Thank you. And Lynette Preston is present via video conference, correct?
Yes.
Also present this is case 2023-09-3594, Jeremy Hales versus John Cook. Jeremy Hales is present with counsel. We've already identified. Also present via video conference is John Cook, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Mr.
So if you don't follow that, just for some reason, again, multiple cases, really, when they say multiple cases, you have Lynette and John Cook. So you can see all of this, it's coming together there. That's why they're identifying it and why they're going through it. Again, you get some legal redundancy at the beginning, but there's a point to that.
Mr. Cook and Ms. Preston, do you understand why you are here?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Are you prepared to go forward with the hearing today?
Look at that
Yes,
mouth.
ma'am.
Okay. Prior to going forward,
Did you get all of our paperwork that we mailed to you?
I did receive a packet from via Federal Express that has been, I received one packet from the Summit County Clerk of Courts. The packet that I received is not identified.
One of the biggest sales ever.
I'll get commercials every now and then because I don't have the commercials off. So excuse me as
30 beef sticks for
I'll
just
skip
$30.
that for a second.
Try for $1 each.
But if you want a beef
6
stick,
grams.
I mean, it says Lynette Preston. I don't know if there is another packet. I did not receive any other packet. Can you please remove the child, please? We do not have children in the courtroom.
I'm trying. Just go out.
Do we need to reset this for a time that you can find appropriate childcare?
No, ma'am, I have no other one that can watch her. She has a medical condition. We have no family here.
Okay, so this court is not going to conduct this hearing if,
John is going to take her back beyond this wall.
okay,
That she's not here. We're in our camper.
Okay.
Our RV where we live.
I will address you each separately then. When I am ready to speak with Mr. Cook, then you can trade places with him. All right, so this is case again 3595. So prior to going forward with the full hearing, the parties can enter into potential agreements, potential settlements. The first way that we can try and resolve this case is, Ms. Preston, you could agree to enter into a civil stalking protection order. If you so agree, then the court could enter into that protection order. If that protection order is issued and agreed to, then if there are any violations of that protection order, then you could potentially be charged with the crime. I will be honest with you, and I do not know the answer to this. Since you are located in the state of Florida, if there was a violation of this that occurred within the state of Florida, I do not know how that would be charged. Certainly that is not a problem that I would deal with. That is something that would be dealt with by the appropriate authorities. But you have the, just hold on. No, let me talk. When it's your turn to talk, and when it's Mr. Heller's turn to talk, or when it's Mr. Hale's turn to talk, then I will address you each appropriately.
it's a little different than what we've seen play out in other courtrooms, right? You know, order, actual order, putting her on blast and being like, yo, you need to shut that down. I'm talking. You know, I'm the one here. And if I'm talking, you don't interrupt me. If he's talking, don't interrupt him, and so on. You gotta like that. I mean, that's how it's supposed to be. There's not supposed to be this insane level of chaos.
Otherwise, we're just going to be going round and round. So we take turns. My turn now. So you can choose not to go forward with the hearing today. You can agree to enter into a civil stalking protection order. Do you want to do that, or do you want to go forward with the hearing?
I want to go forward with the hearing.
Okay. That's all I need to hear. All right. The second type of agreement that the parties can enter into, the parties can enter into a voluntary agreement. If the parties enter into that voluntary agreement, there would not be a civil stalking protection order in place. The parties would agree by civil order, by contract, that they would agree not to have any contact with each other. If there is a violation of that civil agreement, then the party who feels that that agreement has been violated could ask the court to hold the other party in contempt. Counsel, would you like to discuss that further? Would your client be willing to enter into that sort of agreement?
We're just ready to go forward, Your Honor.
Fine. So I'm not.
That would be a terrible thing, by the way, for if you listen to the rules to that, that would actually be a very terrible way for Jeremy Hale to go. If you had a rational person, then you could be like, yo, I'm just going to go my way, live and let live. Then maybe. But like it said there, if they agreed to this and she decided to say, well, he violated, she just tried to get him arrested. And I bet you money he wouldn't even make it back in his driveway, before there would be a call in. Oh my God, he violated. He was breathing toward the road. It's like, what the world?
I'm going to ask you, ma'am, if you would be interested in going forward with that sort of agreement, because both parties would have to agree. So we are going to go forward with the hearing. With that being said, hold on. Ms. Preston, can you see counsel and Mr. Hales in the courtroom?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me, I know why. Give me a minute. I need to fix a technology problem and then our audio will work better.
It's scary. I keep thinking she's like, oh no, she's going to make a break for the throne. They look like they're getting ready to kiss. It's like, no, stop it.
That is my fault. So give me a second.
You heard her being asked, do you want to move forward with this hearing? And Lynette says, yes, absolutely. Except when she gets into Florida, she goes, and he had an option to not go forward with the hearing. And he said, no. Either option, regardless. The first option was she just gets the civil protection order on her. The second option is there's a verbal contract. If she breaks it, she could still be held in contempt of court, but she's broken it so many times. Remember, it was her first that said, I am ready. I want to go forward with a hearing.
All right.
That's very true.
Preston, can you hear me?
Yes.
Excellent. Can you see Attorney Heller as well as Mr. Hales sitting at counsel table?
Yes, I can.
Okay. If at any time during these proceedings you cannot hear or you have trouble hearing the audio, then I need you to identify that for me.
I want to know if like she has trouble like hearing, will she press her ear to the phone or the screen? Will she be like, I can't hear you and give us a close up? That'll be, that'll be 2 states if she did that would actually have the indecency of looking very, very deep into the void of nothing save earwax and broken dreams.
If you do not, then I will assume that you can see and hear everything that is going on in the courtroom. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, this is how we're going to go. Attorney Heller is going to present his case. At the conclusion of his questioning of a particular witness, I'll give you the opportunity to cross-examine. Prior to me giving you that opportunity to cross-examine that witness, I do not want you to say anything. I do not want you to disagree because you'll be given an opportunity to cross-examine when it is the appropriate time. At the conclusion of plaintiff's case, I will then give you the opportunity to present your testimony and evidence. And after you present your testimony and evidence, then Mr. Heller can cross-examine you. And
get away from the window, John. I'm sorry.
If you call any witnesses, you can present their testimony and evidence, and then Mr. Heller can cross-examine those witnesses. So that's how we're going to proceed with this hearing. Do we all understand?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Heller, are you calling Mr. Hale first?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, sir, if you'll raise your right hand, please, I'll swear you in. Do you swear or affirm to testify truthfully in this matter
My kid fell down.
under penalty of law?
I do.
Thank you, Mr. Heller. You may examine.
All right, Jeremy, can you state your name for the record and spell your last name?
Jeremy Hales, Hales.
And Jeremy, this is a case involving Florida and Ohio. Do you live in the state of Ohio?
I do.
And do you spend some time in Florida as well?
I do. I spend 6 months in Florida.
Mr. Heller, do me a favor. Take that microphone and just make sure that it's in front of you, because I want to make sure, A, that we're getting a good record, and B, that Ms. Preston can hear you clearly. Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor. Jeremy, in addition to that, so you live both in Ohio and Florida, and are you registered to vote?
I am registered to vote.
And you vote where?
I vote in both Ohio and Florida, which is why I had confusion the last time we were in the courtroom. I have legal rights to actually vote locally in my local government in Florida, but my primary election, I vote in Ohio.
Very good, Jeremy. Jeremy, so we're here because you're seeking a protection order from Lynette Preston. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
How did you first meet Lynette?
I received an email from her stating that she was a fan and that she purchased property across the street from my property.
And is this in Florida?
Florida, Otter Creek, Florida, yes.
Okay, and what was the first interaction you had beyond that email?
First interaction is she stated that there was a tree down on her property and asked me if I would bring my tractor over to remove the tree. Later on, I found out she didn't even own the property yet. I was trespassing on the property.
And after that point with Ms. Preston, did the relationship continue to sour?
Yes.
How so?
So Ms. Preston relies heavily on soliciting donations. And one of the things that I do as a living is give towards the things that I'm passionate about in my life. And I have not given towards Miss Preston.
You'll notice one difference, by the way. One of the reasons that stuff does not go Lynette's way, if the deck isn't loaded, I will say, Jeremy is very good on the mic. I mean, that's why he can run a YouTube channel. He's a very good orator. He can speak thought clearly, concisely, and there are multiple parts of it. You know, we've had part 1 and part 2. You'll get him, what's stated, and then you'll get to see, well, yeah, you get to see the other side. So anyway, I just wanted to note that. I mean, when you're listening to this, I noticed this in interviews. Any interview that he does, it's not practiced either. You know, he can just go in and he can make his point very, very clearly. And that's great. That actually helps you out a lot when you're talking about the courtroom. And you notice the way that he tells this, unlike say Lynette or the Jokealist, it never deviates. It's the same story on repeat because you can go in and check it out. It's just reciting the truth. I mean, again, it's all been documented very thoroughly out there.
Or others within her sphere of influence. And that is taking a negative impact in regards to my life. And it has just spiraled out of control in regards to that because I refuse to give towards things I do not believe in and I will not support.
Okay. And Miss Preston runs some sort of charitable organization. Is that correct?
I think that is up for debate, but she claims to.
Did you catch this stop there? He was like, I don't know how. You say, well, she claims to. I love that because he was like, how do I put this? You can feel the gears going. Oh, not really, but.
Run a tortoise and turtle rescue called It's a Shell Thing. And one of the things that I typically would say in my videos is I love turtles. And so I believe she utilized that to try and gain funding from me.
And so kind of with this, did you notice after you decided not to support her charity, what sort of strange things did you notice popping up around your house?
Well, for example, signs were posted all over Otter Creek calling me an Ohioist with my name, Jeremy Hales, with confirmation of.
So you notice the cut there, just to note. And he did that, I'm sure. Yeah, he did that because the platform doesn't like, what do we say? PDF files. That's what some people say. You know, I call them playground enthusiasts, you know, because the one thing you don't want them around is a playground. But yeah, you notice it cut there. So just to note that.
Whose handwriting it is by her own family members. There were public posts all over the internet, Facebook, specific Facebook pages and groups were created in regards to hate and to incite violence and hate against myself and my significant others. And
let's break it up a little bit. So you said that signs were posted around your neighborhood. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
I'm now showing you what I've marked as Plaintiff's Exhibit A. Do you recognize this?
I do. I have the original right next to me.
And is this a photograph of signs that you've seen in your neighborhood?
Yes, sir.
So certainly, Mr. Heller, I appreciate what you are doing. I can't see it, and clearly Miss Preston cannot see it. Nope, you're going to use the technology.
Okay, am I using the elbow, Your Honor?
You are.
Yes, sir.
Would you like the actual sign? Okay.
All right, give me a second.
Jeremy also has really good sound. Like just to say, when he's playing with Pac-Man there, like where I have my headphones on, when Pac-Man's mouth rattled, I could hear it coming out of one of my speakers in my headphone toward my back. I thought one of my kids had slipped down here and was going to hijack me, to try to scare me or something. I was like, what is that? Every time it pops up. So I have to say, it's got some good sound quality there.
So I'm sorry.
You are not a nice person.
Uh-oh. She got the third eye. She can see everything. She's got a third eye. What's up? Yeah, you've seen the pictures, by the way. I mean, you've seen the pictures, by the way, so you know what's being referenced here. What they're trying to do is pull this up on the computer where everyone can actually see this displayed. The judge needs it on display. Lynette, everybody should be able to see that. The judge obviously needs to, but also the other person. So when they're asked about that, they can respond to whatever. Courtroom technology is not friendly sometimes.
No doubt you can hear a child in the background.
Yeah.
What horrific parent lets any child hear this, see this, be a part of this? There are disgusting things that have already been mentioned, such as the signs and what was on the signs. And you're going to see this judge isn't going to tolerate it much longer.
For sake of time, I'll go with testimony and then I'll submit exhibits at the end.
All right, ma'am, we are resuming. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, before we resume, can Ms. Preston pan in the room to make sure that she's alone in the room?
Certainly, yes. Ms. Preston, who is in the room with you?
Nobody. John Cook was standing there. There's nobody, and I don't want to give the rest of my camper to Mr. Hales for my protection.
Okay, well, the point is, you cannot have anybody else in the room with you. You can't have anybody that's giving you information or answers. So that's why we were.
There isn't.
Now, see, that's something that you should relate to what you saw when Lynette was deposed. You remember that she refused to showcase any of the room, anyone being there. And she obviously had somebody at the window. She had a kid. My kid just fell. So, she had that. She had the tablet. I mean, all of this stuff. These aren't violations. This is egregious violations of what's supposed to transpire. And you see how this judge is handling things versus what we've seen coming out. Like I was going to show you, a lot of people have covered the courtroom there. And I thought about starting it right in this area, but I thought this was actually better to listen to because you can hear how this should play out versus, again, how we've seen quite a few examples. A lot of judges don't tolerate BS in their courtroom typically. Like if you've not watched a lot of trials or you're not familiar with any of that, like it's insane what you've been seeing coming out of Otter Creek. The level of it, like one violation, violations that happen repeatedly, and then all of these other. I mean, it's not one thing, and it's not one time these multiple things are happening. So I thought that's a great example of how things should play out. Because people point this out again and again. Well, you can hear how that's supposed to go.
There's nobody.
Thank you.
Okay. So, Mr. Hales, the signs that were put up said things like Jeremy Hales needs to go, no child race in Levy County. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And by looking at the handwriting on that sign, you also notice that it looks familiar to what other handwriting that you saw regularly?
Miss Preston has handwriting out in the front of her property with her address and donation box and package box, and it matches the handwriting.
Okay. And so
I need a picture of it.
Ms. Preston, did you say something?
Oh, no.
Interrupted.
Okay.
No,
Keeping in mind,
Sorry.
I need you to not have any conversations outside of what we're doing in court.
She's like, shut the front door. I mean, shut the, yeah.
Give me 1 second.
It'd have been perfect if she yelled, John, get away from the window right there. That would have been funny.
We're going to continue with our questioning.
Okay.
You proceed, Mr. Heller.
And in addition to posting these signs around where you live in Otter Creek, there have been other instances where Miss Preston has exposed your personal information. Is that correct?
That is correct. Ms. Preston has exposed my phone number and my personal address.
And what you do is you create online content. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. That is one of my many
And
businesses.
you have multiple people who subscribe to your online content. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. I have over 250 million views.
So when your personal information is exposed, what does that make you feel in terms of your safety?
Extremely unsafe. Safety is our highest priority, to the point of we at times we hire potential private security bodyguards, depending on where we're at, where we're going, and our safety is always a concern.
And in addition to posting your private information there, Ms. Preston has gone out of her way to contact other places or contact people here in Blood Valley. Is that fair?
Ms. Preston has taken this all the way to the mayor's office in Ohio, where I reside, and I talked to the clerk who.
Think about this too. Now, when you're thinking about this in connection with what's happened in Florida, so you have people that are overtly hostile to Jeremy and George, overtly hostile. And because of what transpired in Florida, Jeremy is not allowed the tools to protect himself, which other people, they may have said tools to do harm. And he's not supposed to be around people that can provide said protection with those tools, talking about firearms, because again, so when you think about that, again, when you think about all of this and how it connects there, it goes beyond violation of his rights. It quite literally endangers his life and endangers life of George and anybody that's around them too.
Who she was on the phone with as well.
And was that email given to you?
Yes, it was.
By the mayor? I will mark it for testimonial purposes as Exhibit B right now, just saying for that. With regards to this email again was how do you characterize it?
I characterize it as hateful, spiteful, vengeful, to incite harm, to remove me from the town, to uprise the town against me.
And there are you talked about online hate groups. What are the names of some of these online forums where people?
Otter Creek Friends and Family, Otter Creek Friends and Neighbors, Heart of Otter Creek is another one. Jeremy Hales against Jeremy Hales. John Cook has multiple ones. Lynette Preston has multiple ones where they are moderators, and there's many, but most of them either have the names Otter Creek in them or Jeremy Hales in them.
And there's a large focus of these. You said Ms. Preston's an administrator. How do you know that?
Well, by our own testimony, and you can go on to the pages and see who the administrator, creator, and moderators are.
And after this behavior of posting your phone number, was that posted recently?
It's been posted even as of.
There's another thing too. This was a few live streams back, but one of the things I pointed out that there are other insinuations about Jeremy Hale, the same type of insinuations that were made, with endangering everything from endangering kids to much worse insinuations. And when you look at the way that these are typed out, yeah, you get the feeling of who's behind it. Again, you can't prove those with certainty, but there are there are a lot of accounts that for sure legitly belong to these people. And again, I'm going to encourage, because of this kind of stuff that you're seeing play out, if you find an account you know belongs, you see threats that are coming up, archive it. Go to the site, archive. Right now, I think FO is down, .fo, but it's archive.is. You can archive it. It's very easy.
Of the last time we were in here for the ex parte, I believe that was on the 24th, or it was I believe it was the 24th. I may be off on a day, but even as of that morning, Miss Preston posted that she had just contacted the Summit County clerk and in Peninsula where Jeremy lives, and it goes on and on, even as the day as we were here for the ex parte hearing.
And in addition to posting your address and phone number again after the ex parte hearing, has she continued to make posts about you since being served with the protection order?
Yes, she's made posts of dodging the actual overnight express package from the magistrate, and then she's made posts of receiving from the process server. She's made posts of that. She's made posts that the ex parte means nothing in Florida whatsoever. She's made posts that she's talked to Levy County Sheriff. It means nothing. That it doesn't stop. It's non.
That, by the way, I do not know why you would be stupid enough to brag about trying to dodge being served, dodging, again, express mail packets or process servers. They're trying to bring you a legal document telling you you can't do this. And not only are you dodging it, but you're bragging about it. I mean, these are levels upon levels of absolute stupid here. Like it confounds me to see that. I mean, oh, well, these laws, they don't actually matter in Florida. Yeah, you notice they're trying to serve you there. So,
Stop.
So your goal in getting this protection order is what?
First of all, safety for myself, for my loved ones, my family, my employees, safety for the residents of the town, and security in my life again.
And again, along with posting your actual house online, did part of that include posting the value of your house here in Ohio?
Value of my house, which I take as an insight of thievery.
And so especially when you travel to and from two different places, do you feel that this makes you a target, having your values and your
absolutely
assets, posted publicly?
Knowing that I will not be at my home in Ohio for 6 months, I will be in Florida, completely and totally puts a safety and security issue and a breach of that. Or publicly posting my address and my number and my values online, yes.
See, that's a great point too. Because not only did she post his address, but people know that he's not going to be there for all these months. And then you're talking about the value of the home. So you're saying, and you see these folks talk about Jeremy like they talk about money, money, money. That's all they talk about, money, money, money. So they make him a target. And we're talking about there are people out there that they'll harm you for fun, but they'll put you in the ground for $5. They put their mama in the ground for $5. So when you think about some of the people that could actually be addressed, that is very, very dangerous. And it's purposeful.
So with this constant pattern of behavior, what has this done to your mental health?
It's put a complete and total strain on me personally, on my personal health, to the point of even a strain in my relationship with my significant other. My significant other is in counseling now as well due to all of this. My employees are in fear. My employee in Florida, Deanna West, she has to record every single time she drives by their place because other individuals have stated they've been shooting at random vehicles. So my employees' mental distress is lacking as well, based off all these situations, all these postings. It's put us in a position where we have to try and figure out how to spend more money to protect ourselves, protect our employees, because we were stalked to Florida, and we've learned from this situation and posted online as well. Now we've got to figure out another game plan. We have to figure out more game plans, and what do we do to protect ourselves in Otter Creek? What do we do to protect our employees? What do we do to protect my children? Even my ex-wife, she's brought my ex-wife into this. What do I do to protect my ex-wife?
Let me slow you down real quick, Jeremy.
Yes, sir.
So this is something that I try to make this point quite a bit. You see, you know, when people watch this stuff online, yes, it's horrible, but we don't see everything that happens in those moments in between. And when you think about the stress, the worry, what's going to happen? I mean, when you talk about that's legit. And if you imagine yourself in that situation, it's hard to. We see so much. We see so much content. You know, we don't think about lives sometimes, and I think that's not really a that's not really a problem with people. It's a problem with the way that everything's out there. You're hit with so much. People just flip on from one thing to another. They don't think about lives. They think of them as, like, even I've said, stories. You know, we watch stories play out, but I mean, they are lives. And again, you have people in counseling. You have other people that are impacted outside of this. Just people that have not that they have a very loose connection now, or again, they're employees. All these people have to worry about, are they going to be harmed too? Because that would cause an issue for Jeremy, and he has to worry about that too. I mean, it's horrible stuff. Like, you can't get across unless somebody's been in that. You really can't get across how stressful this stuff. You can put on that brave face, you can buck up, and you can, you know, you can meet it head on. But you never know what crazy is actually going to do. And I mean, he has stepped into a bucket of absolute fucking crazy.
How is the
Never.
ex-wife into this?
Hold on.
She spoke.
Ms. Preston,
You heard
I've
that?
already talked to you about this.
I'm
Oh,
sorry, it slipped.
Please limit. Please do not speak until it is your turn to ask questions. Are we clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Ask your next question, please, Mr. Heller. Let's stay on track.
How has Ms. Preston brought your ex-wife into this?
Lynette Preston has posted the information, particularly Facebook pages of my ex-wife, inviting others to reach out to my ex-wife, my oldest daughter, her Facebook page, and personal information as well.
So you believe the constant sharing of your information, posting incendiary signs, calling you a rapist, and continuing to reach out to people like the mayor has put you in jeopardy?
Sir, she has posted that I have made videos telling people to murder her. This is out of control. I am in complete and total jeopardy. My safety, my loved ones, my employees, my family members. It's out of control.
Hold on, and let me be clear here. There is only 2 people that are listed as protected parties. That is yourself, Mr. Hales, and Ms. Court cannot protect all of these other people. So let's limit your testimony to yourself and any other protected parties, which is. Okay. Thank you.
you're talking about technology.
So for these reasons, you're asking the court for a protection order,
Yes, sir.
and you're asking for 5 years, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, barring the opportunity to submit some exhibits with the technology, I would rest for now and allow cross-examination, and then just ask to be heard on exhibits at the end, or how would you like to do this as a matter of technicalities?
Okay. What are the exhibits?
Your Honor, I have Exhibit A, which is a photo of the sign with some handwriting. I have Exhibit B, which is the email to the mayor of Peninsula. I also have Exhibit C, which is additional postings since the protection order has been filed. Those are the main exhibits that I would file against Ms. Preston.
Okay, let me see what you have.
Yes, Your Honor. Allow me to mark it very quickly. Will you hand me the color version?
Yes, sir.
No, the judge tipped over. Help her back up, lawyer.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Preston, look at your computer monitor, please.
Yes, ma'am. Trying to find,
I'm going to show you to the best of my ability. This is Exhibit A. Do you see Exhibit A?
yes,
Okay. I'm going to show you Exhibit B. Exhibit B is an email.
I can't see it.
The email is dated August 22nd, 2023. It says it's from Lynette Preston to Nancy Holdsworth, admin@villageohio.gov.
Yep, I did write an email. Yep, I certainly did.
Nope. Exhibit C appears to be a collection of posts.
That's fascinating, though. Like with B, she just straight up is admit, yeah, that's me, right there. That this is why you have a lawyer. Like when you go in and you do anything in a court, it doesn't matter. You don't speak for yourself. It doesn't matter if it's something that you consider basic. You don't know the ins and outs, and when you're answering, you need to have somebody that before you get into that courtroom, they have a frank discussion with you, and they tell you, you answer concisely when you go through. Like this question, she should have answered yes, ma'am, or no, ma'am. Nothing else. She shouldn't have been like, yep, I wrote an email. None of that. It should have been, do you see this? Yes, ma'am, and continuing.
The posts have not been specifically identified by Mr. Hale, so I am not going to go through them and specifically identify anything. But those are Exhibit C. If counsel wants to question further or identify those specifically, then I would expect counsel to do so and authenticate any of those posts.
Understood, Your Honor.
Okay.
I am going to show you what's been marked as Exhibit C for purposes of verification. Do you recognize this?
Yes, I do.
What is this?
This is post by Lynette Preston on her Facebook page, Otter Creek Friends and Neighbors, which is truly just a hate Jeremy Hale's page.
And are these screenshots of these messages true and accurate screenshots from these posts?
Absolutely.
So I'm going to bring your attention to page 1.
This is why you archive, by the way. Okay. Lynette does not have a lawyer in here to argue, but a lawyer will sometimes try to argue the authenticity of something. If they do, this is why you have an archive, because you can take a screenshot from the archive page itself, and it shows from the top of the page down. And you can also reference the link to it if need be. If somebody tries to come in and argue and say, no, you don't have the context, or that's not real, whatever. If they decide that they're going to do that, that's the perfect way to do it. And you can also burn somebody pretty well if they're caught lying about it. If they're like, no, that's not mine. Oh, really? Because here it is. It tells the web address that it's been linked from. So if she had, even if you delete in the aftermath, say she had an account, she was doing all of this stuff, she deletes it in the aftermath, it would still have that. It would have the address to that specific account. And it would catch when that was posted. It would catch when it was archived. Again, the legitimacy there. But in this case, you don't need to go that far, because you're dealing with somebody. You're not dealing with a brain trust here. But just a note, if you ever actually needed something like that, it's a way to head off a lot of. You could still prove that it's there, but it heads off a lot of headache.
On the very first message here. And this says in this message, it's from Lynette Michelle Preston, administrator. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you notice that in the top right corner or top left corner of the document?
Yes.
And in this first post here, she makes specific mention to the temporary protection order. Is that correct?
Yes, she does.
What does she say about the protection order?
She says, I want to clarify something for everyone. The order is temporary that he got on us, and it was fraudulent.
Okay. And so why don't you read about 2 more sentences, please?
We did not make any signs. We haven't done anything that he claims. We do not have to run into our house as he drives by our house. Are you freaking kidding me?
Oh, get an ad. What are these ads? I typically will use something that'll turn off ads, but again, for like a channel that you support, I don't turn off ads. So when the ads turn on, if you're like, hey, why aren't you using an ad blocker or something? Because I respect their channel. I respect their coverage. And I know that that helps their channel when you actually have stuff come up. And if I turn that on, I'll forget to turn it off. Like I could turn something on here, open it up under a different browser, but I'd forget to turn it off later. And again, you know, if I'm going in, that's one way you can support a channel. You can directly support, even if people like with a GoFundMe or something, say you can't do anything with that, you can share it everywhere, but say you can't do anything with that, you can play ads, you know, so.
And do you believe that this message was posted in a public forum after the issuing of the protection order?
Yes.
And specifically making mention to the signs, was that a complaint as part of your complaint for the protection order?
Yes.
And in fact, the temporary order here is this protection order we're here for now.
Yes.
And so after asking for this protection order, Ms. Preston continues to post about this. Is this correct?
Yes.
I'm going to bring your attention to page 3 of Exhibit C here in the middle of the page. And there are 3 more posts made by Ms. Preston. Is that correct?
Yes.
And what are those posts about? Are they about the politics of Otter Creek, or are they about you?
They are about me.
Okay. And so in this situation here, she continues to post about you. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So based on these continued posts on you, since even asking for a protection order, dealing with online posting and stalking, has that behavior stopped?
After a cease and desist, it hasn't stopped. After an ex parte civil protection order, it hasn't stopped. Everything increases.
So in fact, that you also tried to seek out a cease and desist to stop this behavior as well.
Yes.
And at that point, nothing has worked.
Nothing.
And you said after asking and trying to get the behavior to stop, it actually gets worse?
Yes.
Nothing further at this time.
All right. Ms. Preston, this is your opportunity to ask any questions of Mr. Hales on cross-examination. Let me be clear, this is not your opportunity to give your side. You will be given that opportunity, but this is your opportunity to ask Mr. Hales any questions you have on cross-examination. Do you have any questions for Mr. Hales?
Yes.
Hey, wait. I need a second. I got to mentally prepare for this. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. I think I'm ready for this. I gotta get this out of my system for just a second. Okay. I'm sorry. Professional. I'm going to be a professional. Okay. Here we go.
Mr. Hales, did you see me personally post those signs anywhere in town?
No.
So then you cannot say that that is my sign that I did against you.
I have stated here today that it is a sign that you created.
Okay. My next question for you is, did you or did you not stand up in a town meeting in Otter Creek twice and tell everyone in the room that they needed to have me out of town, that I was dangerous and that I was going to kill them?
No, I did not do that.
It's on. So there is no video of that.
Oh, you heard that, right? You heard that. You catch that? There's somebody else that speaks. That's what's being objected to. I mean, Caught that very clearly. Also, it was caught in the closed captioning as well. Closed captioning may misspell names. It sometimes calls me that umbrella god, which it does for real. But it has its moments too. Like it catches things like the absolute stupid of the person in the room not being able to shut their freaking mouths.
Room there. Your Honor, I'm going to ask for a contempt. She just waved off what I believe is Mr. Cook.
Ms. Preston, is there somebody else in the room?
He's talking to the baby, and he's in the other room speaking to the child.
Lie.
I'm just telling you.
What a lie!
Ask her if she wants me to take her out.
Yeah, take her outside.
Such a lie.
He's taking her outside.
Come on. Come on.
See, even when a judge doesn't comment on this stuff too, a judge notices your lies. A judge notices if you will lie continually to the judge about small matters, then when their matters come up that truly pertain to the case, how do you think they're going to look at that? See, again, it's delving into, he stepped into a bucket of crazy, but he also stepped into a bucket of stupid. And the stupid in these moments, oh man, I mean, judge has to be like, what in the what?
The motion for contempt is denied. Proceed, but I will tell you that I am at the very edge of saying that we are going to continue this hearing so that there is a complete separation of your hearing and the hearing for Mr. Cook. So proceed with your questioning. If I hear another voice, then I'm stopping this.
The judge was very nice in that too. The judge was actually very nice in that because you could be held in contempt of court for it. I mean, you have real problems. The judge already warned her. The judge warned her repeatedly in it. The judge is like, yo. And I imagine with a separation of the cases, the separation of the people, they would still find a way to violate and get themselves in trouble.
Do you know if the page Otter Creek Friends and Neighbors, you said that page that I have is public? Do you know that? Can you prove that my page is public?
I'm not sure I understand your question.
You testified that I am posting these things against you on a public page called Otter Creek Friends and Neighbors that happens to be a private page, not a public. But you testified it was. What proof do you have?
Oh, what a dumb way of going.
My page is public.
I can testify that Facebook is on the internet. Anything posted on the internet is a public posting. It does not go away.
That wasn't my question, but so you testified that you did not stand up in any meetings.
That is I mean, what she's trying to say there is, oh, these are just friends and not everyone can see this, and that anybody can join. I mean, they're allowed to join. She would, he's getting screenshots from it. So obviously it's not just her ranting to one other person. Like she's tried to pull before, saying, oh, well, I was just posting to a party of one, talking about, say, a video or something like that. It's ridiculous. And yeah, it's not the same as direct messaging someone either. Like if you're on Twitter, for example, or if you and I share an email exchange, that's a 1-to-1 commentary. Some of that stuff, it's protected. So you actually have a secure link from one party to another. That is not public. But everything else, even if you're saying, well, it's by I have to allow people in this as an admin or whatever, it's still public. It's not secure. That would be the question of it. You could shoot, you destroy that. She She doesn't know how to argue that anyway. But I mean, you could just destroy this argument no matter how you go about it by, again, bringing up the idea of secured communication. Because secured communication, it is not. Facebook is not secure. You know, the messaging, even messaging, I would probably argue, I wouldn't call it secured, but at least it's one-to-one. But with this, and you can add other people to that. Even there, I mean, you can get in it. But anyway, that's getting off in the weeds. It's just a dumb argument.
Ridicule me, belittle me, humiliate me, call me names, say that I was shooting gunshots off on my property in any Otter Creek meetings, town hall meetings.
No, I did not say what you put in your words.
I would like to know how I can.
he's like, I did not say that bucket is stupid. It just came out of your mouth.
Get that in as evidence, because I have the video. But, and then Mr. Hales, when have I ever asked you for any money? When? How much? When did I ask you for money?
Well, I've provided the court with a screenshot where you asked for $65,000 to make John Cook go away and be removed from your life as he's an abuser. You've constantly have texted me and asked.
The dude, by the way, that's with her kid right now. Just put that into context with you, because this is a larger conversation that we've been having. So not only is that an epic flame there that's like, yeah, I provided proof that you asked for this, but you called this dude an abuser. You said you wanted him out of life. You know, what I don't get there too, I don't know pro or con anything about Cook, so I'm not making any allegation about him. She did. She's made multiple allegations according to other people. Cook is still there. Like that's insane to me as well. It's insane on so many levels. When you start thinking about this stuff, you start going down the rabbit hole of it. At some point, you're like, I gotta pull my brain out of this because I feel the brain cells dying. You know, it's like, oh no, it's a gas attack. They're suffocating.
Me for things that you've seen in videos. You've constantly asked me for donations. You asked me if my event at Half Mil Time to Grow, where fans from around the world came, if you could solicit donations. Would you like me to continue?
Is it not true? Excuse me, Mr. Hales, but is it not true that I did not, in fact, ask you ever for any donations? I saw on one video that you got a leapfrog. One thing was asked for from me to you. One thing, never money. Do you have?
Hold on.
I gotta pause for a second. I got a child walking in, and she saw toys on the screen. She's like, "Ooh, toys!" I was like, "That's our toys." She can't hear it. I've got it on headphones. But huh? You need what? I can't understand you.
My TikTok is in the car.
Well, I'll get it out right after I'm done with this. I'll be done in a few minutes, okay? I want to
say you laugh for you.
Huh?
I want to say you laugh.
But just say hi real fast. Say hello.
I just want to say you laugh.
Oh, no, you can't sit down here for this. This is not kids
stuff.
I
want to sit on your lap.
You can't sit down here for it.
Here,
I'm gonna let this play for just a second here, okay? So I'll let it keep going with this, but give me a second.
Sustained. That was not a question. Please state a question.
Did I specifically contact you and ask you specifically for $65,000? Or did you see a post in where it was, okay, if he's claiming that I'm doing this, sure, give me $65,000.
Oh, got an ad. Give me 1 second. Whoa.
Objection testifying.
Did I ask you?
Hold on.
Or ma'am in a post?
Ma'am, if that was a question, you lost me at about.
I don't know how
Hold
to.
on. If that was a question, you lost me at about sentence 7. So your questions need to be short.
Oh my God. If that's a question, you lost me at about sentence 7. That is epically funny. Oh my God. And it was. I mean, when you look at that, you know, again, you're looking as a lawyer, you're trying to ask. I'm sure all of you have seen how this plays out. You're supposed to ask questions that put, in this case, Jeremy into a situation where he's going to have to answer yes, no, or he's going to have to elaborate in a way that's not going to help him out. And she's not doing that. She's actually giving him opportunity to obliterate everything that she's saying. She has no idea. Again, this is a perfect case for why you need a lawyer.
And concise.
Did you personally get an email or a text from me asking you for $65,000?
You made a public post directed towards me in a group that is directed and communicates about me for $65,000 to remove John Cook from your life.
Have you continued since, when did you file this no contact order?
That's amazing. So you notice she just switched off of that question because the answer there that he gave, again, it was directed at him. What else would it be about? She needs $65,000 from him in order to remove John Cook. I mean, what else would that be about? Who else is that directed to when you're talking about, oh my God, the brain rot? And she even realized, oh, wait a minute, this isn't going very well for me. It just switches off. By the way, I like the really, look at the hand on that.
Objection, Your Honor. The document speaks for itself.
Okay. Weren't you already aware?
Hold on. I overruled his objection. That means Mr. Hales can answer the question.
Okay.
What was the question?
Your Honor, you stamped it on September 25th. Were we here September 24th, or was it stamped the same day, September 25th?
I don't answer questions. You can answer the question to the
I
best of your
apologize.
ability.
To the best of my knowledge, the ex parte civil protection order was stamped in the courts on September 25th. I believe we were in court on the 24th or the 25th. I do know it was a Monday, and I do not have a calendar in front of me right now. It could have been stamped the following day. Again, I do not know which day that was.
Mr. Hales, when did you find out that I had filed my protection order against you?
I learned on October 8th as Levy County Sheriff went to my employee's home stating that you stated I was in Florida.
Is it not true that you learned about me asking for a protection order the exact day that I asked for it, which was September 13th?
I can't even follow the question. I'm not sure what you're asking.
Were you not notified September 13th, the day I filed for my protection order, that you were being served an order of protection?
I have never been notified of any type of order that you have filed for. The first contact that has been made was with Levy County Sheriff on October 8th with my employee in Florida, stating that you stated I was in Florida and you had them attempt to serve me for an injunction.
Do you realize how messed up this kind of situation? This is a flaw in a courtroom, in my opinion, too, because of someone's ineptitude. They actually, a person that is a harasser, gets to sit there and try to trip up the person that they've been harassing. Like that is a messed up. It's such a messed up thing when you think about it. And we've seen this in, again, I'm not comparing this case to this, but you've seen this where serial killers, for example, have gone in and they've decided to represent themselves. It took me a minute. I was like, what's that word? Represent. There we go. When they represented themselves, they would have a victim on the stand, and they get to continue to victimize somebody. It's messed up. It's, again, we laugh at this because Lynette is so inept at what she's doing, but it's a horrifying proposition, because when you're trying to remove somebody like this from your life, they don't go away. They don't care. They've made it clear they don't care about the law. They didn't care about being served. They didn't care about stopping things. They have gone, and they've continued to do even afterwards. I mean, again, I think that's been very clearly showcased in multiple videos. And it, like I said, it's insane. It's insane how this system works.
So we're going to hold on. We're going to focus in on what Mr. Hale's testimony was. I appreciate that there are things going on in Florida. The court's decision in this case does not hinge on what is happening in Florida.
Okay, here's
it's time to retrieve all those files you thought you lost.
If you have data stored on a laptop or computer that no
I'm glad he's getting ads.
If you have
that.
filed a separate protection order against Mr. Hales in Florida, that is a completely separate court issue that this court does not take into consideration when determining if I would issue a protection order that Mr. Hales has requested in this court. So let's focus our questions in on cross-examination based on what Mr. Hales has testified to on his direct testimony, please.
Ma'am, what I was trying to show was that he did this as a retaliatory.
Ask your questions based on cross-examination, please.
How many videos, Mr. Hales, have you posted about me and my family and my child?
I post daily videos about interactions in my life. Now, if you interact with me in my life, which
that's a great answer too. You know, and that's the thing you have to remember. He's not doing content about her. He's doing content about himself, about George, their world, what's there, and anything that's intriguing, that's crazy, you know, whatever. But it's not about her. So the way that she goes about trying to ask this is it's absurdity. Again, it's yet another mistake with that. And there are a lot of them. But I love that answer, because that answer, again, it's not about you. It's about me documenting what goes on. And I do this every single day. You know, and you could bring up the idea, yes, I've talked about things where you've interacted there, but look at all these other things I've done too.
You have, as you've stalked me to Florida, then that is going to be posted. My daily life is posted.
Have you just recently put out flyers as of October 4th that show you're having a community thing or some kind of fun? Did you not have a thing saying that you were
community thing?
Never mind. Were you contacted by your fans?
She lost it there. She was like, did you post about you were going to have this community thing, a whatchamadingy, you know, what do they call that thing, you know, where you have jugglers and oh, never mind. Oh my God. This is gold.
And well, never mind.
Never mind again.
All right. So our document camera is working. Ma'am, can you still see the people in the courtroom?
Yes.
Okay,
Barely, but yes.
okay. So, thank you. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the document camera off. Thank you, Jason. If we need to, we can put these documents on the document camera so that you can see them more clearly. If you want to see them, make that request, please. Proceed with your question.
Are you talking about a deal with your fans about a t-shirt with Lynette, Lynette on it to sell? You gave approval to sell, to give the money partly to the town, part to you and part to the people making the t-shirts?
No. I'm struggling even following what she's asking.
Do you hear what he said there? He's like, I'm struggling to follow what she's even asking. And that's because she has no idea what she's again given up on whatever she was asking. She's given up on it multiple times. And then, I mean, she went from the community thing to some other thing. I'm lost on what was that was supposed to go to. And then she wanted to talk about a Lynette t-shirt.
To clarify, all of our t-shirt
No, just
sales.
just wait for the next question, please. And ma'am, focus on
Focus.
focus on the testimony. I don't care about Mr. Hale's internet business unless it relates directly to his petition for a civil stalking protection order. I don't care what happens in Otter Creek unless it pertains specifically to testimony that Mr. Hales has given related to his petition for a civil stalking protection order. We are not here today, and I'm telling you both this, we are not here today as a general airing of grievances. We are here specifically on the petition for a civil stalking protection order that was filed. So please focus your questions on cross-examination based on what I have just said.
Another thing that you'll notice, they limited. So I've seen people ask a question like this with other cases. You notice they didn't document dump. Like when Lynette, when she wanted to send a packet to the court, you've seen what she sends. You've seen some of the documentation. She just sends in this ramble effery, and you're like, what the hell? It sounds just like she speaks. With this, you provide concise items, but also you have more. If you ever need more, you don't give away everything, and never let them know every single thing. You get to the meat of the matter, the crux of it. But he has so much more too. And she could open up many a different doorway where he could be like, haha, actually, we have something that, that directly refutes what you're saying here. And she has no idea what that is. All she has are these specific items, again, that concisely point out why he needs this protection order.
Mr. Hales, did you post pictures on the internet about me with my baby daughter in her diaper and claim that I threw diapers and garbage all over a road in Otter Creek? And you claimed it was mine? And you posted a picture of my baby's bottom.
Yes, I've posted pictures of your child.
Did you post saying that I was throwing garbage on a road in Otter Creek to make the people in Otter Creek hate me?
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
We've already discussed this.
Exactly.
This is not your petition for a civil stalking protection order, Ms. Preston. That is venued. Let me talk.
Okay.
That is venued in Florida. This is venued in Ohio.
Just getting mad.
I only care about what Mr. Hales has alleged that you have done. You will have your time in court in Florida if there is a hearing set on your petition that you have filed in Florida. Please only focus on what Mr. Hale has alleged in his petition. And I will tell you, time is of the essence because my day ends at 4:00. So we may have to continue this to another date and time if we are not able to wrap this up. So, Ms.
Okay,
Preston, do you have other questions on cross-examination?
Okay, so there's going to be a part 2. I'm not going to do all of this. There'll be a 4-hour live stream. We're not going to do that. What we'll do is pick up the second part. But I want you, if you would, again, if you haven't for some reason, I know many of you have, but if you haven't for some reason, go over and watch that video. Like, rack it up. Let it play. Let this one play too. This is on What the Hells. And again, you can watch it without any type of interruption. You can see it in its context. I like to go through and comment on what's there. I don't typically like to play an entire video like this. I usually skip around, but this has so much meaty goodness in it. You're just like, man, because it covers that entire thing. And where it does dip out and he makes commentary, that was actually, it was few and far between. He let the transcript itself like speak for him. But when he did, it added a lot. So anyway, make sure that you play this stuff. It won't be tomorrow. It'll probably be Saturday. We'll do it because tomorrow I've got a thing I'm going to do with the kiddos. But look at that. I mean, it's going to get worse. It's going to get or better, whichever way you want to look at it. I think it gets better too. And I noted in the title here that this stuff was new, and it's new. It's not a new order here, but this is brand new stuff you're getting to see over the last couple of days. You're getting the insight. You've heard about what happened, but the train wreck that you imagined is much, much worse. It's much, much worse. And he's done very well in presenting what he needed to. Again, it was very concise. She, in representing herself, she doesn't even get the idea of what she needs to be doing here. And it's irritating the judge. The judges had to, that's what a judge should do. A judge should be like, hey, we have rules in this courtroom. You follow these rules. I'm the boss here. You're talking about, when you look at justice there, you're talking about law and order. Order is very important. And the order portion of this has been violated again and again. So what I want to do, I'm going to show you the other part of that as we roll in and continue, because I think that'll be fun to watch. Then we will look at what's been happening with the courts, with all of the Otter Creek stuff. I think that is the best way to look at this. Again, I'm kind of glad I delayed with that, just so when we look at it, you can point out, you can make comparisons. You're not talking about an abstract. This is something concrete you can refer back to and say, yeah, this is the way things should actually play out. So let me hit some super chats here. Okay. Give me 1 second. Teddy, thanks for the 2. Do we have a gang tat? Yeah, you have to get gang tats here too. I mean, if you're going to get on this, this gangsta choo-choo train, I mean, you gotta get your gang tats. Seriously, the groupie cash train. Oh, Teresa, thanks for the 2. Do we have Tug Thug gang signs? Heck yeah. I'll be sending out the secret signs later on. It's kind of like the secret sauce of the groupie. Oh, the cash machine. Oh, it's good times. Suzanne, thanks for the 20. Love the 24-hour live idea. The later it gets, into the crazier. We'll all be. Yeah, 24-hour live streams. The 24-hour live stream is fun too, because you can have a bunch of people come on, keep you company. And if you do that, I mean, they pull a large audience too. The algorithm for something like that. They'll have to actually break it. I think you have to break it into 3 pieces. Like if they did a 24-hour live stream, it'll only do 8 hours at a time, if I'm remembering that correctly, unless they've changed that. I don't. So they'd have to do a live stream, break it off, do another live, break it off, and do it in segments. But it's a good idea. And again, it'd be a heck of a way to promote a GoFundMe. It's just an idea, What's up, Wonder Girl? How you doing, Wonder Girl? Great to see you. Thank you for the 10 gifted memberships too. Membership. I love gifted memberships, so I think that's great. Jesse, thanks for the 2. What are our gang colors? What are our gang colors? I'm going to go off the mask. I'm going to say that would be red and white. That would be my gang colors. Red and white, baby. Just like the freaking umbrella on there. Tracy, thanks for 5. Lollipop for baby umbrella girl. Yeah, she's been pretty. She's been playing, but when she came down here, she was like, she had some. I think she had some Tic Tacs, and she's like, "Dad, I left my Tic Tacs in the car." That's what that was. She was like, "It's urgent. I must have them now." And I was like, "We'll get them in a few minutes." Whitney, thanks for the chug on the tug thug train. Indeed, thank you for that. Yeah, thanks for the 5. Guess I'm a tugging groupie. That sounds very Love it. Thank you. Pickle Ding, thanks for the 2. Ain't no thug, ain't no show. I love that quote she put up there. I mean, that is so. Oh, lady, thanks for 5. There's a little bit more of that cashola there. That groupie money. Toot. Thank you. Southern Red Sox girl, thank you. Welcome. Thank you for the membership. Welcome to Tug Stugs. Thank you. Dan, thanks for the 5 there. They need to change Dead Dog Road to Dead Turtle Road. They could do a commemorative road. He could name his really long driveway into Turtle Memorial Boulevard. That's what his driveway. Jeremy could name his driveway and call it, because it's got to pay respect for all of the fallen soldiers along the way. So it would be Turtle Memorial Boulevard because of all those poor turtles that gave their life in the pursuit of justice. Let's take a minute. No, I'm just playing with taking a minute. Poor turtle. For real, man. I love turtles. I do. I know that's his thing. I love turtle. Well, he used to be, but I do. I've always loved turtles. I've had turtles as pets, and and it's so sad. Especially, I mean, we're talking tortoises here. That's just terrible. Terry, thanks for the 8 months. Thank you, Tug, for keeping it true and real. Yeah, this is a pretty cut and dry one. Sometimes we get into things that are a little more controversial, questionable, but this one I think is pretty easy to see what's happened here and how insane all of this stuff has been. Susan, thanks for the 2 there. Yeah, that's some Inception level. Shia. Exactly. It is. I mean, that picture was funny. Tony, thanks for 2. Lynette. The short arm all butthurt. Hi from the UK. Hey, love return, by the way, from Tennessee. Appreciate that. Indeed. I mean, this stuff is just funny. Choo, blah, blah, groupie cash. Loving the thug life. My bad. The thug life. Yeah, living that thug life. Love to the family and the amazing chat. Indeed. And thank you. Sandy, thanks for the 5. Have a package for you and the girls. Trying to get it ready to send out tomorrow. I've got a new, hold that for a moment because I've got a new P.O. box. I'll have to confirm the thing or it'll send it back to you. So let me just make sure that it's got a different zip code and I can't remember it. So I've got to repost it. Rhea Rye, thanks for the 2. Dear Diarrhea, the Jokealist writes a load of crap. Indeed, that is very true. Candace, thanks for the 5. They all hate Lynette. The blonde is Jessica, a good friend of Jeremy and George. Lynette's completely obsessed. The Jokealist has serious mental issues. You can tell, like I said, from that picture, you can see how it boils to the surface. Most people, like when you're dealing with people, you don't involuntarily give away like contempt for people. When you see that coming through, when people are just, glancing over and it comes through in your gaze, when you're looking at the Jokealist, you can tell there's a problem there. Like it says all you need to know. Andrew, thanks for the 2. You're more done with the rock. Indeed. Jolie, thank you. Welcome. Thank you for the membership. Welcome to Tugs Thugs. Appreciate you. Welcome to the cash train. Get that group of cash. Susan, thanks for the 5. Is it sort of D? I just have to say that this is crazy. Yeah, indeed. What the hells? It is. It's all of this is mental. The more you go through it, all of it is. Marie, thanks for the 5. Reasonable people tend not to need civil protection orders with the threat of jail time to make them behave. That is very true too. And the thing is, you not only need, here's a failure in the system too. Even when a judge has seen fit to give these, when there's a violation, you have to have other portions of that system act on that. So in this case, even with an order saying this person needs to stop and they need to quit what they're doing. I mean, they haven't quit. And if this system worked the way that it needs to work, they would have already been jailed. Subi Sue, thanks for the 2. Hey, baby umbrella girl, candy money. That's good. She'll have some, she'll be enjoying candy tomorrow. So she'll like that. 3, thanks for 5. Baby umbrella girl, I was having a bad day until I heard her voice. I know that's one thing I like about the interruptions. Like, she's cute. She's funny. She says the funniest thing. Little kids have no filter. So it's funny. And sometimes when she says that, like I can pretty much translate 98% of what she said. I might have to ask a couple of times, like, "Hey, what did you say?" Because she'll say stuff and she'll get excited and say a bunch of stuff. But sometimes I'm like, "Whoa, what did you say?" Because I translated it wrong. Janice thinks that would line out like a brain cell, so she can have one. Yeah, I mean, basically. That old that old statement of what's the sound of one hand clapping? I feel like we in the court there we had a new one. It was like, what's the sound of no brain cell firing? I mean, really, it's like, hey, maybe we get a couple together and maybe there could be a thought like, hey, maybe stop this, but no. Raby, thanks for the 3 there. She made her bed so she cannot Lynette in it. That's true. And lying in the courtroom, she can lie all over social media. And she ultimately, you know why she lies this much? Because I think in some ways she lies to herself about a lot of things. Like that's a big one. But anyway, all right. Well, I'm going to call it here. I'm going to end with, let me see. I got a few selections. Maybe I'll end with the Jokealist thing that I was working on. It's only a minute long. I like that new intro song. I actually have 3 hell-related videos. They all just hit all at once. So it's like, And the more we do this, Lord, I'm telling you, like since I've been playing with AI, I think I've made I think there's 34 tracks. I thought, man, I need to put these things on like SoundCloud so we can play around with them and goof off with them all. But anyway, I'm gonna play this, and yeah, we'll see you probably Saturday. There could be it depends on when we get in, but I don't expect one Friday. I expect us to hang out. We may watch the movie Trimmers, something like that. But anyway, I'm gonna play this Jokealist tune. So appreciate you. And I will see you.
Every day she scribbles a punchline with a pen. Jokealism in a journal. You're not hired. Can't you comprehend? The blank page no one paid for, taunting her ambition. Obsessed with the hails, but can't write a single composition. Stay tuned. Excuse me, excuse me, excuse me. My camera works just fine. Reporting from turtle purgatory. Hey, wait, what's my line? Riding the rails of justice. She's reporting from the fringes. Did you read a request? Even the mayor claims it. It's journalist, live from Lady County. Stop making money, making that's harassment with a pound.